Hello everyone. Today we're going to see a topic in gate programming and data structures. We're going to do a question and follow. You have 1 minute to solve. Let's see the answer. Okay, so as we saw in a previous video, right? So the for loop, it is going to execute a set of statements a certain number of times depending on this condition. So here, right, you see this empty component, that is the initialization. So initialization, right, here it can be empty also. So next, here, right, we are giving a function. Yes, functions are allowed in the condition. So first time we are calling the check function. I is 0 here, j is 5 and k is 10. Okay, so first time check is called. It is checking if 0 plus 5 less than 10, which is true. So it prints run one time. Okay, now since print run, it is returning 1. Notice here it is returning 1. So remember, right, this for loop, whatever you're saying, it was based on the condition. So if the condition is true, it is going to repeat a set of statements. So here, right, you see that the body of the loop is empty. We can also do that. We can keep semicolon in the end and no body of the for loop. So next, since there is no statements, it is going to check the condition. Now you see, before checking the condition, there are 3 variables here, right? So multiple variable increment is also allowed. So now the second time, right? I is going to be incremented to 1, j is going to be incremented to 6 and k is going to be incremented to 11. So now again check function is going to be called second time. So in the second time it is checking 1 plus 6 less than 11, which is true. So print run. So run is going to be printed the second time. Now again, check is going to be called. I is going to become 2. J is going to increment 7. K is going to increment 12, which is true. So run is going to be printed the third time. Now fourth time check is going to be called. I is incremented to 3. J is incremented to 8. And K becomes 13. Again true. So run is printed a fourth time. Fifth time check is being called. I is incremented to 4, j is incremented to 9, and k is incremented to 14, which is again true. Okay, so this is the now run is being printed for the 5th time. Now next time check is being called. So here I is incremented to 5, j is incremented to 10, and k becomes 15, which is false. So now when false happens, it is returning 0. Okay, notice now, right? So in all previous 5 cases, what is happening? We were returning 1, but now it is returning 0. So what happens? So when the condition, right, whatever you're passing condition becomes as false, what happens? Yes, the for loop ends. So the execution of the loop ends. So we get run printed 5 times. Remember that the initialization happens only once. This condition can happen 1 or more times. and the statement and the increment depends on this condition. Because in the sixth time check was happening, this check I plus j less than k was becoming false. So we return 0. When you return 0, condition becomes false. That's why we exited out of the for loop. So what is the answer? 5. Run is printed 5 times. Okay, let's have a quick review whatever we saw today. Initialization, the first part. Initialization is done once and it can be empty. Comparison check. That condition, whatever we have in the for loop, it is run at least once. And you can also have, see, so you can have some expression like I less than 10, or you can have even a function call. That is, they both are allowed. So the only thing is that this function should be able to return the value 0 or 1. So depending on the value of the function, right, the condition will be evaluated. So if it is true, this loop continues, otherwise it exits. So comparison check is run at least once, and the value returned determines if the body of the loop will run or not. Next part which we saw was the increment. So here remember that increment, it can have any number of variables. So increment can include 0 or more than one variable which is each separated by a comma. Okay, now suppose you kept all three as empty. Yes, this is also possible. You can have one infinite loop. There is no condition, no increment, no initialization. So it's basically an infinite loop. Thank you.